My dear students, after 3 days, I have appeared before you with another grammatical item, that is absolute phrase. Then, what is an absolute phrase? After participle comes absolute phrase for combining two or more than two simple sentences into one simple sentence. Okay? Absolute means independent in itself. That is dependent. Independent in itself, that is not dependent. Absolute. And what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words without having a finite verb. Then what should be the definition of absolute phrase? A phrase that can be used with a sentence independently is called an absolute phrase. It suggests that if you cut or curtail the portion, there is no disturbance in the sentence and there is no harm of the sentence. So, absolute phrase is the independent phrase that can be used with the sentence as a cause. Remember it, as a cause. First example I should cite. Suppose the rain stopped. Then the children started playing again. You see that there are two different subjects, rain and the children. I can remind you of the fact that in the case of participle, the subject must be the same person or the same object. But in the case of absolute phrase, the subjects must be different. You see that rain is a subject and the children is also a subject. So, there are two different subjects and there is no problem of using absolute phrase. Then what is the cause? The cause is that the rain has stopped or the rain stopped. Then you may write, the rain having stopped, the children started playing again. The rain having stopped, the children started playing again. So the rain having stopped is the cause portion and it is the absolute phrase. And if you keep it off from the sentence, that there is no harm of the sentence, the children started playing again. Clear? Those started is the only finite verb in the sentence. Clear? So, what is the formula of constructing an absolute phrase? Subject plus having plus past participle of the form, past participle of the verb. Again I repeat, subject plus having plus past participle of the verb. Okay? And remember that absolute phrase will act as the cause part of the sentence. Now let us take another example, that is the second example. Suppose the trees have been cut down indiscriminately. The trees have been cut down indiscriminately. As a result, climate change is occurring. As a result, climate change is occurring. Then what is the cause part? The trees have been cut down indiscriminately. Then how can you use absolute phrase? Here the absolute phrase is in the passive form. Clear? The trees having been cut down indiscriminately, the climate change is occurring. Having been, so is in the perfect, so it is in the passive form, and perfect passive, that is the perfect participle and in the passive form. The absolute phrase in the passive form. Clear? The trees having been cut down indiscriminately, the climate change is occurring. And there is only one finite verb, that is occurring. And the climate change, and the trees having been cut down is the absolute phrase, and it is in the passive sense. Then let us take third example. Suppose there are two sentences. The president was sick. As a result, the vice president had to preside over the meeting. There are two different subjects, president and vice president. So, you are at liberty to use absolute phrase because there are two different subjects. The president being sick, as there is be verb, you can use being very easily. Or the president having been ill, the vice president had to preside over the meeting. Okay? The vice president had to preside over the meeting as the president was sick. So what is the cause part? The cause part is the president was sick. So, as there is be verb, you can easily use the president being sick or the president having been sick. The vice president had to preside over the meeting. The president being sick or the president having been sick is absolute phrase. Clear? And then let us take another example. Suppose I am telling you two sentences. For example, it was a haunted house. It was a haunted house. So, the children never went there. It was a haunted house. So, the children never went there. Then what is the cause part? The cause part is the house is haunted. So, as there is a be verb, you can easily use it being a haunted house or it having been a haunted house. The children never went there. So, it being a haunted house is absolute phrase and there is only one finite verb, went. Clear? And let us take the last example. For example, I am telling you two sentences. The rainy season has set in early this year. So the farmers are very happy. And you see that there are two subjects, the rainy season and the farmers. So you can easily join the two sentences or combine the two sentences by using absolute phrase. Remember that the subjects must be different. The rainy season having set in early this year, the farmers are very happy. The rainy season having set in early this year, the farmers are very happy. So, the rainy season having set in early this year is absolute phrase. Then you will have to see that subject plus having, or where there is verb being or having been, etc. Then comes the main sentence. Okay? Then what is the difference between participle and absolute phrase? In the case of participle, the subject must be the same person, and in the case of absolute phrase, the subjects must be the different persons or the different objects. My dear students, and those who are benefited by my grammatical items, are being requested earnestly to subscribe my channel, to share it, to like it as far as practicable, so that I may be enthused, so that I may be encouraged to come before you with tidbits of grammar, so that you can write independently and very carefully grammatically correct sentences in simple sentences. Thank you very much. Good night. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel.